for today, I choose love over anger. Just for today, I choose love over fear. Just for today, I maintain a humble awareness towards all blessings within life. Just for today, I offer service with compassion and diligence. Just for today, I extend kindness to all sentient beings. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So I did it, guys. I'm officially a 200-hour certified yoga instructor. I graduated on Sunday, and it just seems so surreal. So, yeah, that happened. Jumping right into it, we are going to talk about how this week has been in our practice of Ahimsa, or nonviolence. And for those who have not seen the previous videos, we are practicing some observations from a book called The Yamas and the Niyamas by Deborah Adele. And these past 7 days, our challenge was to create balance. So I'm going to read what the author had to say about creating balance. Courage demands our best self, and that is a self in balance. Think about the times you were short with others because of too much work to do, or too much caffeine and sugar, or a restless night of sleep. Imbalance in our system is almost a certainty for violence, as the dis-ease we feel within finds itself with. Imbalance in our system is almost a certainty for violence, as the dis-ease we feel within finds its way to expression outwards. Balance creates harmony within us, and harmony within naturally expresses itself in external actions that are harmonious. Dr. Phil Nierenberger emphasizes the importance of balance when he says, "The deep harmony of balance is my most precious commodity, and I guard it fiercely." Creating balance in our lives is not an easy thing. We are a hungry, noisy people, bombarded with stimulation and advertisements that promise to grant us our deepest desires. If we are not on purpose with creating balance for ourselves, we can easily fall victim to false promises and fill every breathable space with appointments and activities and all the responsibilities that go with a full agenda. It is anti-cultural to claim any space that is simply space, or to move with any kind of lingering, or to take time for closure. We are bombarded, and we bombard ourselves. And if we have any doubts, our calendars will reveal the truth of our craziness. The repercussions are inescapable, immeasurable violence to ourselves and those around us. Like the body, the mind and soul need time to digest and assimilate. Like the body, the mind and soul need time to rest. We create this rest by allowing space that we can breathe in, not more clutter, but more space. Space to reflect, space to journal, space for closure, space for imagination, and space to feel the calling of the life force within us. Balance does not look a certain way because it isn't a set standard to impose upon ourselves. It is not something we can plan or schedule. Balance instead comes from listening to the guidance and wisdom of the inner voice. Balance will look different in each of us, and even different in each of us at different times. To be in tune with ourselves, we must get quiet and listen, and then heed this inner voice. This inner voice does not push or bombard or make promises. This inner wisdom simply knows what we need to be vital, healthy, and in deep harmony. My sons and their children love the board game Risk. It is a game where all the players begin with armies, which they should strategically place on various countries around the world, and then try to conquer the world with their armies. It is a game of strategy and skill and can be played into the wee hours of the night. What is interesting to me is that my grandchildren, in playing this game, have learned something important about balance. One of my grandchildren put it this way: when you see someone's army spread all over the world, it looks so impressive. Dad always starts by putting all of his armies on 4 countries in a corner. It looks like no one will ever have to worry about him. But as the game gets played, the person who has spread their armies too thin is always the first to lose. and dad always wins. Balance is like this. Spreading ourselves too thin looks impressive, but in the end, we are the first to lose. The health and well-being of our body, mind, and spirit is a powerful resource, and by keeping ourselves in balance, we can stride through life with greater competence and ease. We are primed to win. As we meet life from an inner place of harmony, when we are in balance, we automatically live in non-violence. Well, I deeply resonate with those words. And consciously practicing the art of creating balance for myself this way, I found that I often rush. And so I, slowed down in my tasks, took my time. I also, too, practiced a breathing method called Nadi Shodhana. Oh, Moonstone wants to say hello, guys. Say hi, Moonstone. Say hi. Moonstone wants all the loves. She loves attention. But Nadi Shodhana, it is a form of pranayama. And what pranayama is a breathing technique that expands the life force energy throughout the body. And in practicing Reiki, Reiki, as we know it, is the universal life force energy that flows through us. And we channel Reiki energy to clear blockages in the body. So another way of clearing blockages in the body is simply through practicing a pranayama techniques. And so this week, I focused on taking my time, practicing Nadi Shodhana, which is a pranayama technique, and allowing myself to get some rest, because I noticed that I tend to, when I feel like I have so much to do, that I deprive myself of sleep, and sometimes I forget to eat because I'm like, I gotta get this done, and I'm all tense and timid, trying to hurry up and rush and get something done, and it always just feels so stressful. And so within the last 7 days, I decided to just, take it easy. I had a lot to do too, a lot. So, I just really listened to what my body needed. I asked my body, I said, what do you need? And my body said, slow down, get some rest, breathe. And so I did, and this week was a breeze. It was a magical week, and in fact, I had planned on reaching out to you guys today from New York. However, I'm not in New York. I'm at my home, clearly, because I received another opportunity by simply slowing down and listening and following the guidance of the universe. And so one of the things that I want to share with you guys is Nadi Shodhana, because I know that slowing down and getting rest, that's super easy for anyone to do. We know how to do that, even though it's not super easy. But we all know how to do it. We know what it is. We know what getting rest is, and we know what breathing is. Now, how easy that is to do, that's a whole nother story, because it's not easy. But by consistently practicing that, you are practicing nonviolence, ahimsa, so nonviolence to yourself, and creating that balance, space for balance in your life. So Nadi Shodhana, in this exercise, we breathe through opposite nostrils. So I'm going to start on the left. And so you inhale through one nostril, you hold the breath for a certain period of time, and then you exhale for the same amount of time that you held the breath. Now in Nadi Shodhana, you want to exhale longer than the inhale, which means your hold is longer as well. So what I like to practice is an inhale 4 seconds, and then a hold 8 seconds, and then an exhale 8 seconds. And so I inhale on the left nostril, hold it, exhale on the right nostril, and then inhale, hold it, exhale on the left, and then inhale, hold it, exhale on the right. And just kind of doing that back and forth, doing 4, 8, 8. That's my sequence. So inhale 4, hold 8, exhale 8. Inhale 4, hold 8, exhale 8. And the reason why is because when in breathing, what I learned in my yoga teacher training is that when you have longer inhales and shorter exhales, you're really stimulating your sympathetic nervous system. So that's that flight or flight that just, it's heating up the body. You know, it's almost like that hyperventilating type of energy where you really just, you're trying to cultivate a lot of energy in yourself. But when you're trying to calm the body down and trying to really just relax and just be and go with the flow, you always want to have your exhales longer than your inhales. It's really helpful in cooling down the body in stressful situations. You know, if you inhale 2 seconds, exhale 4, inhale 3 seconds, exhale 6, inhale 4 seconds, exhale 8. You know, whatever works for you, exhaling longer than the inhale is always best when trying to relieve stress and tension in the body and activate that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest. So we're going to do that today before I head off. So I like to take my glasses off because we rest our fingers on the third eye. So how I was taught in class was to take the thumb and the ring finger and put them on each nostril, but not pressing down, just gently setting them there. And then taking the 2 fingers to the third eye and then resting the pinky here, or you can curl it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale for 4 seconds on the left, hold it for 8, exhale on the right, inhale on the right, hold it for 8, hold it for 8, exhale for 8, and that's 1 round of Nadi Shodhana. Now it's important when practicing this that the breath is not loud. So you may notice that as you're watching me do this exercise, you don't really hear my breath, and if you do, it's very subtle. So it's not like a forceful, loud inhale. It's very light. Again, it's something that's gentle because we're trying to calm the body down. So here we go. So, one more thing. So when you're doing 1 nostril at a time, you gently just, so when I inhale on the left, I just gently press my right thumb down, or my thumb down on my right nostril. That way it closes that nostril and allows air to only enter. And I press each opposite nostril down depending on what I'm doing. And you don't press hard, just a light little press. And then when you let up off it, you don't just let your fingers off your face. You want to keep your fingers in contact with the nose. All fingers you want to keep in touch with your face, okay? All right. All right, so that was 1 round. Inhaling on 4, holding for 8, exhaling for 8 on the right nostril, and then inhaling for 4, holding for 8, and then exhaling for 8 on the left nostril. It's kind of hard to do that and, you know, I don't know, move my fingers at the same time. That was weird. So I just kind of count inside my head. I don't really do any other movements except having my fingers in place here. So I traditionally, I've been setting a timer. So at the beginning of the week, I started with 5 minutes, and then I worked my way up to 6 minutes the next day, and then the next day did 7 minutes, and the next day did 8 minutes, and the next day did 9 minutes, and the next day did 10 minutes. And so now just consistently practicing 10 minutes. So yeah, we've been on here I've been on here for a while rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the instruction on Nadi Shodhana and creating balance. So moving forward into next week with exploration, or, you know, for today and the next few days, this week, watch where you are running interference on others' lives. Are you a worrier, a fixer? Discern the difference between help and support. Notice what you might be avoiding in your own life because you are so interested in others' lives. It's a really interesting one because sometimes I find myself wanting to help others, and in helping others, I neglect myself. And so, honestly, I'm not practicing Ahimsa because I'm not being nice to myself and being nice to someone else, but not myself. So I think I've made a really good habit of changing that around, but that is the challenge for the week. So I encourage you guys to try it. I'm going to do it as well and come back next week to talk about it. And I may see you guys before next week. But until then, peace, love, and light. Take care.